Welcome, Lee here from Play Guitar Academy with another Why They Work lick video. How do you stop aimless guitar playing? You take aim, and today we're taking aim at the notes in the chords. These 10 licks are guaranteed to match a 12-bar blues. They're gonna build your ear, they're gonna grow your lick library, and I'll teach you why each one of these works. Stick around to the end for the play along, where you can use all these licks in a solo, and if you are limited in what you can play on the fretboard, click the link in the description and download my free Big 4 scale pattern worksheet. This way you can change your guitar playing and start feeling comfortable playing all over the fretboard. Okay, let's get started with the licks. Today I'm playing in the key of A blues, and we're using the A major pentatonic, the A minor pentatonic, and the A blues scale. Let's take a look at lick number 1. This is so the whole thing is easy to play, but you're gonna sound like you're playing some very, very advanced stuff. So lick number 1 is that right away. We're starting on the 5th fret of the B string. And we're in A minor pentatonic right now. This is an E note. We're gonna go from the E to the D, back to the E. 5 to the 7th on G, back to the 5 on B. Then we're gonna make this is part of a D chord here. We're gonna do 2 7s on the G string and the B string. And then we're going to outline the target note. This is all about targeting chord tones. If you notice in blues, this first chord we have is an A dominant 7. It's got a major 3rd in it. That's not in our scale. So if we target that, if we play that note while that chord's playing, we're going to sound really professional. We're going to be matching the chord perfectly. So how we're going to target that is we're going to play the minor 3rd, that's the 5th fret, that's a C note on the G string, and then we're going to go up 1 half step. And that lands right on the first beat, right where the A dominant 7th comes in. Let's take a look at lick number 2. This is going to be by far the easiest lick we have in this example, but what we're going to be doing is making sure the timing is correct. Now the notes we're playing an A to a G sharp to a G. We're walking down from the root note of the chord that's being played, and then we're chromatically walking down a step, ending on the 7th, the flat 7th, which is part of an A dominant 7. So we're going strong, weak, strong. Now, what's important with this is the beat that it comes on. This 7th fret, our A note, is on the 4th beat of the measure. 1, 2, 3. Right there. Now, this is an 8th note. So our next note is an 8th note as well. So it's 4 and 1 is right where we hit the dominant 7th here. So when we hit that on 1, it has to be a strong note. And what this is doing is it's really letting people know this is blues. This is a dominant 7th. That G on 1 outlines that perfectly. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. And if you do that exactly at the right time, it's going to sound fantastic. Now, lick number 3, this is very, very similar to a lot of traditional blues licks that use the major 3rd in it, like Johnny Be Good and things like that. If you look on the, let's see, what is this? This is the and of 2. So beat 1 and beat 3, those are usually our strongest beats. This is right before beat 3. We're playing the minor 3rd again, the 5th fret, and we're going straight to the major 3rd, but that happens right on beat 3. 1, 2, right on 3, 1, 2. Now we're going up the major pentatonic scale. Next is the 5th fret. This is an E, that's the 5th. And then we're going to the major 6th, that's an F sharp, that's at the 7th fret. And that's taking us right on beat 1 of the next measure to our strong note, the A. Now in lick number 4, this is a transition lick. We have been playing over the A dominant 7th chord, but we're about ready to get to the D9, which is our 4 chord here. This is something that we need to reflect in our playing. The harmony changes, so if you can do that in your playing, you're going to sound really, really tight with this. So we're going to start on the 5th fret again of the B string. This is our 5th of the chord in A. And we're going to, I have it written as a bend, but I kind of changed my mind at the last minute. I'm going to do a slide instead of a bend. So we're going to go to the 5th, the 7th fret of the high E string, that's a B. And we're going to slide that up 2 frets. Instead of bending it up a full step, we're going to slide it up. That's going to take us up to a C sharp. That's the major third of the A chord. But look what happens. We start to repeat that line. We go back to the 5th fret of the B string, our E note. And this time when we go up, we don't go to the 7th fret. We go straight to the 8th fret without a slide. And this is a C note, and this is reflecting the 7th of the next chord. D9, we have a D, F sharp, A, and C. So that C that we're landing on, that's letting you know this is a dominant chord that's right here. Here it is together. And this C happening right on the first beat of when that new chord comes in, that's what's going to make this sound fantastic. In lick 5, we're going to use a blues scale lick. What is the blues scale? This is when you take the minor pentatonic and you add a note in between the 4th and the 5th. 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5. 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, 5. That sharp 4 in there. We're going to do it up here. We're going to start on the root and we're going to walk our way up. So this is root. That's the 10th fret of the B, 8th fret of the high E string. That's our C. That's our minor third. Then we have our D note. That is the 10th fret of the high E. Now here's our sharp 4. This is the 11th fret. Now you can hear right there, it sticks out really nicely. Then we're going to walk our way back, all the way back to the beginning of the scale. So on lick number 6, now we've made it back to our A dominant 7th chord. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a little minor pentatonic lick, but we're going to target the 3rd of this. Since it's not going anywhere, let's try and find one of the notes from this chord that we're going to aim for. So we're going to start with the root. That's the 7th fret of the D on the 5th fret of the G. We are at the minor third. Then we're going to go straight over to the 5th fret of the B string. We're going to go to the 5th. So it's like a minor arpeggio right there, A minor arpeggio. Now we're going to work our way back. Now we're going to play the D note. This is the 4th. It's at the 7th degree of the G string. And we're going to surround the 3rd. The 3rd of this chord is a C sharp, and that's at the 6th fret. So we're at the 7th with the D, then we go behind the note, and then we finally land on the target note that we're looking for. And then we end this lick with a root note right here. So it's a very solid lick. It's not going anywhere. It's staying right over the chord that we're playing. So in lick number 7, we are transitioning into our 5 chord. That's the E9 here. We're starting off in A major pentatonic. We start on the A note at the low string, it's 5th fret. And then we're going to go to the 4th fret of the A string. That's our major third. And then we're going to go to the 5th degree of the scale. This is at the 7th fret of that same string of the A string. That's an A major arpeggio. You can think of it as part of the A major pentatonic scale or part of an A major arpeggio. Now, when we make it up to the 4th fret on the D string, that's the F sharp, that's the major 6th of this, we're going to start to do a chromatic walk. We're going to walk up from F sharp to G sharp. Why is that important? Because this G sharp is one of the notes from the chord we're trying to get to, our target. We're taking aim for this note. This is the 3rd in E9. It's a very important note. If we walk, we're close, we're a whole step away. So if we're a whole step away, if we play this on a weak beat, this is in the measure before we get to the 1, when the E9 comes in, right? We want to get to this note right when the chord is played. Boom. So we're going tension, tension, release. Walking up to the note right in time. So this is beat 1 of the next measure. So we were on the E9 chord. This is the 5 chord in the blues. Now at this part of the blues, we go back to the 4 chord of the blues and then to 1. So we're transitioning from 5 to 4. We had made it to the major third of this chord here. We're going to go up to the next arpeggio note. So we have an E dominant 7. The next arpeggio note up from this is a B note. So we're going to go from G sharp to B, back to G sharp. So now we're going to take a walk back down from what we walked up in the last lick. So we're going to take a chromatic back down from 6 to 5 to 4. That's G sharp to G to F sharp. F sharp happens to be the third of the new chord that we're playing, D. We're going to hit that right on 1. We're just coming to it from above this time instead of below. In lick number 9, we're going to move from the D9 chord back to our 1 chord, the A dominant 7th chord. We're already on the F sharp. We're on a chord note that's ringing into this lick. But now what we're going to do is we're going to create a D dominant 7th arpeggio going up. We're going to go down to the D, that's at the 5th fret on the A string, back to the F sharp, that's the 4th fret of the D string. On that same string, we're going to hit the 7th fret with our pinky, that's the 5th of the chord. So far we have root, 3rd, 5th, and now we're going to take our first finger on the G string. That's the dominant 7th for this chord. That is the note that makes it funkier sounding. But look what happens. This note, we're almost to getting back to our A dominant 7th chord. The strong note in A dominant 7 is A, but the next is the 3rd, the major 3rd. That's a C sharp. We're at a C. We're going to go straight, of course, right to that major 3rd and then down to the root note. So it's like connecting arpeggios. D dominant 7 root, 3rd, 5th, dominant 7th to the major 3rd of the new chord, which is A, and then the root note of the A chord. So in lick number 10, all we're going to do is end this off with a cool blues scale lick. We're just going to go up the scale and back. But when we come back, we're going to end right on time to the tag, to the 5 chord. We're going to hit an E note right when that chord comes in. So let's start with our A, dominant 7th. This is going to be at the 7th fret of the D string. There's our A note. We're going to go up the scale. So the minor 3rd, that's 5th fret on the G. Then the 4th, that's a 7th fret on the G. Now the sharp 4, this is the blues scale note. And then we're going to come, that's at the 8th fret, go back to the 7th fret, D, back to the 5th fret, C, back to the A, that's on the G string at the 7th fret. Now we're going to hit the flat 7th of this A 7th chord right before we go to our note that's going to tell us it's a tag. That means the 12-bar blues is over and it's about to turn around again. This is the E note at the 7th fret on the A string. Thanks for playing along today, and thanks to all of our Academy members over at playguitaracademy.com. They are tearing into the tab and the guitar profiles from this lesson right now, and you can too. Don't forget to download my free Big 4 scale pattern worksheet to make all this easier for you. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great practice. I'll see you in the next lick video.